The Toronto Maple Leafs make a massive change heading into this season by naming Auston Matthews the 26th captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and this has major implications going into this season, and we're going to break it all down for you guys coming up on this episode of Hat Trick HQ. But before we get into it, we want to say we're on the road for 5,000 subscribers here before the end of the summer, so if you're not subscribed already and you want to keep up to date on everything that's happening around the Leafs, make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button. But Mark, with that said, we got to get into it because this is a huge topic today. This is Auston Matthews being named the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And yes, just a couple of days ago, we heard some rumors about Auston Matthews being named the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. A lot of people said, this isn't true. This isn't going to happen. There's no way they stripped John Tavares of the sea. But Mark, it happened today. As we take a look here from NHL.com, they say Auston Matthews has been named the 26th captain in Toronto Maple Leafs history. He also says he's the first United States-born player to captain in the franchise's 107-year history, and the second non-Canadian captain behind, Matt Sundin, one of the GOATs of Sweden. He was captain from 97 to 2008. And Mark, I know yourself as a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, I got to get your initial reaction to Auston Matthews being named the captain here.
First thing I want to say is John Tavares did an excellent job just kind of handling the situation. Obviously, Brad Treliving just kind of went to him at the end of the season, spoke on this. Tavares was all for it. This is the passing of the torch. Yes, Tavares might be a great leader, but Auston Matthews is the best player on this Toronto Maple Leafs team by far. There's a reason why he scored 69 goals. There's a reason why he's been so dominant in his time. This is the franchise player, giving him the captaincy, letting him know he's wanted here, he's known to be a leader here, is a huge part for Matthews. We've seen him say he was getting chills from this. The conversations he's had with John leading into this, he was so excited. He said he wants to be a part of this team for the rest of his life. So he deserves nothing more than being named captain. And I think it is the perfect time to do it. You pass the torch off. You let this new reign of leadership come in. And hopefully it's a little extra push the Leafs need to make a deep run in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, Mark, he's not just the future of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's the future of the entire NHL. I mean, this guy's one of the biggest stars right now in the entire league. And like you said, it's about time that he was named captain. It is sad to see Tavares get stripped like this, but ultimately they probably wouldn't have done it if John Tavares wasn't on board with it. So it is great to see Auston Matthews being named captain. He's definitely deserved. He's grown over these years as a Toronto Maple Leafs into being a leader in the room, and we're going to see that even more now with him wearing the C on the ice. But if we take a look at what Auston Matthews had to say here about being named captain, this is what he had to say. He said, I'm incredibly humbled to be named captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm honored to follow in John's footsteps and continue our work in leading this team along with many other leaders within the dressing room. This team, this city, and our fans mean everything to me. We all embrace the history of this franchise, and we are determined to get the job done. We also did get a quote here from Brendan Shanahan, who said, over these past 8 seasons, we've seen witness firsthand Auston's trajectory and evolution as a player and a person. He's grown year over year and has shown through his dedication to the Leafs an unwavering commitment that he is ready to lead this club. And Mark, it seems like everybody here in this Leafs camp is completely on board with Auston Matthews as the captain. And like Brendan Shanahan said here, obviously we've seen him grow. We've seen him develop not just as a hockey player, but as a person, which ultimately has led up to this decision. And hearing from Matthews that, the unwavering support and commitment from the fans has made him want to stay in Toronto is a big deal.
Yeah, because the biggest thing is you're seeing Matthews' development, and Shanahan kind of spoke on this. He went from just being a goal scorer coming into this league, and not just a goal scorer, but one of the best goal scorers, and now being the best goal scorer in the entire NHL. He worked on his playmaking, and the biggest aspect of his game, he's worked on his defensive side of the puck. We've seen him turn into one of the league's best defensive centers. We see him still potting goals, still putting up assists. This is one of the best complete players in the NHL. I still think Sidney Crosby is the best complete player in the NHL, but Auston Matthews is sliding in directly behind him. A guy that can play the 200-foot game, a guy that can do anything for you on the ice, and just giving him this captaincy, letting him just kind of take over this role and turn into the leader of this team to grow, let him prove that he can do this as well. I think we're going to see another side of Auston Matthews that maybe we've never seen before, and maybe unlocks a next level for a guy that maybe we thought couldn't couldn't get that next level with how good he's been.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like we've been talking about here on the channel over these last couple of months, is like something has needed to change in Toronto, and obviously bringing in a new coach, a couple of new players from free agency is going to help that, but also bringing a new leader into the room is going to help as well. Obviously, most of the guys are familiar with Auston Matthews, and they looked up to this guy. He's their star player. He's the guy who's going to go out there and score a goal for you almost every night. He's that guy. And when you have a guy like that on your team and players look up to him, he's only going to help this team moving forward and help this team's success. Not saying that John Tavares wasn't a good captain, because I think he's probably one of the best captains in the NHL during his time as captain, whether it's with the Islanders, whether it's with the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's just now that John Tavares, is getting up there. He's getting towards the end of his career. Like you said, it's time to pass the torch here to Auston Matthews and let him lead this team into the promised land, because it seems like it's going to come here. But we did get a quote from Brad Treliving saying about him and John Tavares had this conversation about passing the C over to Auston Matthews. And this is what he had to say. He said this was a part of a conversation that grew as the summer went along, that John was very much a part of from beginning to end. We believe Austin's unique qualities as a hockey player and ability to inspire his teammates will drive our team's success moving forward. Then we also got a comment from former Leafs captain, now John Tavares, where he said when GM Brad Treliving and I met at the end of past season and discussed ways for our team to take the next step, we both agreed that Auston is ready and it's his time to lead. It's been an incredible honor to serve as captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs these past 5 seasons. Looking forward, I will do everything to support Auston Matthews as we continue our pursuit to the Stanley Cup. And I think this is a classy quote here from John Tavares, Mark, saying, hey, I spoke with Brad Treliving. We discussed ways that things need to change within the organization, and they both believed that it was time for Auston Matthews to take the torch. I think this is just a very classy act from John Tavares, not being, upset that he's losing the captaincy, but supporting his teammate and friend in becoming a new captain.
Yeah, because we've seen so many times just people passing the torch on. We've seen Iginla in Calgary. We've seen Dustin Brown hand the torch to a guy like Kopitar, who's been one of the best elite centers in the NHL since becoming captain and during the time he wasn't captain. So seeing Tavares hand this over, knowing it's time to hand it to Matthews, let Matthews take the reign of this team, is awesome to see. One thing I absolutely loved is Brad Treliving coming out and saying, hey, John Tavares and I spoke. The biggest thing he said to me was, I didn't sign here to be the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. I signed here to win a Stanley Cup. This is showing how committed this guy is to winning, no matter if he has the C on his chest, the A on his chest, no matter if he has no letter. John Tavares wants to win the Stanley Cup with the Toronto Maple Leafs. If that's him being the captain, if that's Auston Matthews being the captain, maybe we see another captain be named next season. Either way, these guys are committed to winning with this team. It's a classy move from Tavares. We've seen Tavares' kids at the press conference wearing Auston Matthews jerseys. These guys love Matthews. They know how much he means to this team. They know how much he is of a leader. So I think the team is in great hands passing it on to him.
Yeah, I mean, it's the boyhood dream for John Tavares of being a Stanley Cup champion in Toronto and bringing the cup back to the city who hasn't had it in a very long time. So, whether you're captain, whether you're assistant captain, none of that really matters as long as the cup comes back to Toronto. And that's what all these guys are dedicated to doing, is to trying to bring this cup back and having a successful playoff run. I mean, this is what everybody wants to win. This is the most prestigious championship in the world of sports, in my opinion. So I think you need, if Matthews has to be the captain to make this happen, well then, you take it on the chin and you go out, you play your game and try to win the cup here. But that's not it for John Tavares, because we also did get a quote from this press conference saying that from David Alter saying Treliving says Tavares will be wearing an A, and they'll talk about the rest of the rest of the leadership group in the next little while. And just before we talk about that, Mark, we did see a quote here from Auston Matthews saying that's the goal, to be a Leaf for life. But first, I mean, it's great to see John Tavares still wearing the A, obviously being such a great leader in that locker room. It's just fitting for him to still have a letter on his chest.
Yeah, that's the main thing, and it's going to kind of get interesting now because we did see a lot of rotations of the A. We had three assistant captains last year between Auston Matthews, Mitch Marner, and Morgan Riley. We see Mitch Marner get all the home games, and Matthews got all the away games, as is a Canadian boy versus a American boy. So maybe we see someone lose the A. This could be Mitch Marner. I don't know if Morgan Riley's going to be wearing the A. It's going to get interesting to see how they kind of push this. But at least we know the captain will be Matthews and the assistant captain will be Tavares.
Yeah, 100%. I think this is just fitting that, you're not stripping him of everything. He's still going to be a leader in the locker room regardless. Taking the captaincy away isn't going to take away his leadership that he has, in that locker room. He's still going to be a guy that a lot of players turn to when they're looking for something. And, not saying that they're not going to turn to Auston Matthews, because they will do that as well. But there are a lot of leaders in that locker room, like Matthews said in his earlier quote. So just having such a group of guys who are so close, and a tight-knit group like that have a bunch of leaders in that locker room that can help the younger players, can help the new players coming in, is definitely going to be big for Toronto. And hearing that Matthews wants to be a Leaf for life is definitely something I know a lot of Leafs fans are very excited about today. But we want to hear your guys' honest opinion on Auston Matthews getting to see. I know we're going to get a lot of mixed reviews down below in that comment section, Mark, but I'd love to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think it's the right move? Let us know down below. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure down below, hit that like button. It helps push these videos out to all the Leafs fans on YouTube. And comment on the video. Like I said, we love reading through all your guys' comments. And subscribe to the channel. We're on the road for 5,000 before the end of the summer. So if you're not subscribed and you wanted to keep up to date on everything that's happening, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to check out the video we did the other day, it'll be popping up on your screen right now. But as always, I've been your host, KC, alongside my co-host, Mark Pye. We'll catch you in the next one.